The next submission is the triangle. So we're gonna keep the same context that we've been working with, starting with a cross choke attack. She'll defend the cross choke, I'll move to the armbar, she'll then defend the armbar, and I'll move into a triangle from there. It doesn't necessarily matter which setup you use for the triangle, the finish is generally going to be the same. Okay, there's multiple ways to finish, all right, but the finishing mechanics will not change much depending on the setup. So to start, I begin attacking the cross choke. Okay, she begins to defend the cross choke by pulling down on my arms and pulling her head up. Now, from here, I'm going to begin setting up the armbar by stepping on the hip, again, keeping my thigh tight. Okay, pointing my foot to the ceiling, pivoting, okay, and then beginning to attack this armbar just like so. All right, I'm going to be a little bit looser here just so I'm not choking Coach Jamie. All right, but I would advise continuing to keep tight grips on the cross choke to keep the person as uncomfortable as possible. Now, to defend the armbar, she's going to begin pulling her arm out just like so. All right, I still have my cross choke grips. Again, remember, you would be holding them a bit tighter. All right, so it's going to be hard for her to posture up. From here, I'm going to throw my leg over her head and lock my legs in a triangle. All right, now it would be pretty safe for me to let go of my grips. Okay, as you can see, I don't have the correct angle for the triangle, so I will actually need to let go. So I let go, okay, and from here, what I'm going to need to do now is move through the adjustments to finish. Okay, triangle's a really good control position, but ideally we want to finish the submission. Just a couple of key details here. I want to make sure to be squeezing my legs in and biting my heels down, okay, for the control of the position. If I just hold a loose triangle, okay, it's not enough for me to just have the legs crossed. All right, now her elbow is usually going to be tucked into my hip here. As soon as she realizes she's stuck in a triangle, she's going to keep her elbow tucked into my hip so that she can keep some space between her shoulder and her carotid artery on this side. All right, that's going to keep her alive in this fight. All right, so the first detail is that I'm going to lift my hips up. All right, and lifting my hips up is going to give me the space to pull her arm across my hip and begin to eliminate that space between her neck and her shoulder here. All right, so brace yourself, Coach Amy, because I'm going to bridge my hips up here nice and high, and I'm going to pass her arm across just like so. Now you start to see that space closing. All right, to keep that space fully closed, I'm going to pull her in with my legs now. Okay, so I'm pulling my knees into my chest. I'm still biting my heels down. I'm still squeezing my knees in. Okay, I can keep one hand on the wrist to make sure it's difficult for her to pull the arm across. It's not completely necessary, okay, but it can help. Some people find it helpful. All right, and then from there, what I'm going to do is reach up and grab my shin. Okay, I want to grab with my opposite arm reaching across to the shin that's directly over her neck. Okay, and that's going to help me because when I grab here, it's going to be safe for me to begin opening my triangle. If I try to open my triangle from here, she can posture up and get out. All right, so I don't want to unlock my triangle until I have that grip on the shin. So I reach up and I grab that shin, and now I can start creating a better angle to finish this triangle. So what you'll see me do is use my right foot on her hip, okay, and then I'm going to pivot. So just like some of the other techniques we did before when we were setting up the cross choke and the armbar, I don't want to escape my hip to create the angle necessarily. I just want to pivot on my lower back. So what you're going to see me do is push off her hip and pivot all the way to the other side. Now what you'll see is there's going to be a little bit of space still between my hamstring and her neck here. I just want to pull that leg through a bit deeper to make sure everything's as tight as it possibly can be. And then I'm going to bring my right leg now over my left, okay, closing off the triangle completely. All right, so the finish would be with my ankle behind the bend of my knee. Okay, and you can actually notice too, my lock is kind of blocking her shoulder. Usually if you can see the shoulder in here, it's not as tight of a triangle as it could be. I've definitely finished the triangle many times like this, okay, but that would be mostly relying on the squeeze, okay? It's definitely gonna be a more effective choke if you can totally block that shoulder out. All right, and then the finish would be biting the heels down, squeezing the knees in, pulling the head with both hands, and bridging my hips up, okay? I'm just gonna show a little bit of that to get the finish, all right? Remember, if you're a kid, you can't grab the head, okay? So if you're watching this and you're a kid, I'm not sure the exact age that they limit you from pulling the head, but if you're a kid and you're doing this, the finish would be holding your shin, but the squeeze is the same. Bridge the hips, squeeze your knees in, okay, and get that finish.